Bangladesh is on the boil and Hindus are at the receiving end of it. Viewers, this is the 9 p.m. Saturday debate. I'm Gauri Dwivedi and we talk about what is happening in Bangladesh, a country that is in complete turmoil and extremely volatile. It's not just about the lynching of Deepu Chandradas, the most barbaric public killing seen in recent times. It is an ISIS-style murder. But it's not just about Deepu Chandradas. It's about another Hindu killed, Amrit Mandal. It's about the mainstreaming of radicals like Jamaat-e-Islami. NDTV is on ground documenting the extent of fear that has gripped the Hindu minorities in Bangladesh, even as the political landscape offers limited redemption. BNP's Tariq Rahman returned to Bangladesh after 17 years because elections are slated 6 weeks later. And in the 48 hours or so that he has been there till now, he has called Osman Hadi a martyr. He has reached out to the Jamaat-e-Islami with whom BNP has formed the government in the past and has not spoken a word about Hindu minorities and Deepu Chandradas in particular. Where is Bangladesh headed? Even if elections were to happen after 6 weeks, what lies ahead? A deeply treacherous road full of uncertainty and of course more turmoil, more volatility for the Hindus of Bangladesh. And this also has deep implications for us viewers, politically, economically, and of course socially as well. The turmoil in Bangladesh impacts our entire eastern belt. And India stands to also get impacted on several other fronts. Because as I said, the turmoil in Bangladesh doesn't just stay there, impacts the entire region. As we talk about what lies ahead for Bangladesh, I'm going to open this broadcast with the testimonies of Deepu Chandradas' family. Their gut-wrenching tale needs to be heard. They spoke to Ankit Tyagi, who is in Dhaka, documenting their harrowing tale about how Deepu Chandradas was taken and, more importantly, how they continue to be haunted by what lies ahead. Take a look.
So what exactly happened on the night when Deepu Das was killed? Allegation is that the administration of the company, Pioneer Knitwear, when they saw all this tamasha happening, his workers agitated, beating him. After being beaten up, they forced him to resign, sign papers, and then he was thrown out of the gates for the people, the wolves, those who were waiting to absolutely lynch him, tear him limb by limb. I have one eyewitness who saw all that happening. I'll try and understand from him what happened. He will speak in Bangla only, and then of course we'll try and put subtitles of translation of what he's saying. He's a Hindu man who saw everything that night when Deepu Das was mercilessly lynched, dragged, burnt in full public glare. क्या हुआ था उस रात को दीपू दास के साथ?
প্রথমত দীপু দাকে এইচআর ডিপার্টমেন্টের লোক ঢাকায় আনিছে, নিয়ে ওই জায়গাতে তার রিজাইন দেওয়া হয়েছে। রিজাইন জোরপূর্বক রিজাইন দেওয়া হয়েছে। রিজাইন দেওয়া তাকে তার ফ্যাক্টরির বাইরে বহিরাগত যারা ছিল, ফ্যাক্টরির ওয়ার্কারও ছিল, ফ্যাক্টরি ওয়ার্কার বহিরাগত লোক সকলের মাধ্যমে ওরা এইচআরের লোক থেকে ওকে এই পাবলিকের হাতে তুলে দেয়, গেটের বাইরে নিয়ে আসে। আনার পরে মুখে বুকে অনেক আঘাত করে, লাঠি ঘুষি দেয়, বাড়ি দেয়, লাঠি দিয়ে বাড়ি দেয়। তাকে রক্তাক্ত অবস্থায় গেটের বাহিরেই মূলত এক প্রকার তার নিঃশ্বাস, শেষ নিঃশ্বাস বললেই চলে, এই অবস্থায় তাকে উল্টো করে পায়ে ধরে প্রায় 1 কিলোমিটার জায়গা তাকে টানতে টানতে নিয়ে আমাদের কোনো স্কোয়ার মেইন বাস স্ট্যান্ড সামনে একটা গাছে ঝুলিয়ে রশি দিয়ে বেঁধে, প্রথমে পায়ে বাঁধে, তারপর গলাতে রশি দিয়ে পেঁচ দিয়ে তাকে ধানের যে নেড়া বলে, খের বলে, সেই খের দিয়ে তার বুকে মুখে আগুন লাগিয়ে দেয়। ততক্ষণে হয়তো রশিটা পুড়ে নিচে পড়ে যায়। হাজারো জনতা ছিল সেখানে। কিছু সংখ্যক মুসলিম সম্প্রদায়ের লোক হয়তো এটা ঘটাইছে। আমরা ওই জায়গায় ছিলাম, কোনো কথা বলার হয়তো ভারসাম্য
किसी ने
ছিল না।
बचाने का कोशिश नहीं किया?
হ্যাঁ, বাঁচানোর জন্য হয়তো দূর থেকে অনেকে চেষ্টা করছিল, কিন্তু তাদের ওই যে দুষ্কর্ম এই ভয়ে হয়তো কেউ সামনে প্রকাশ করতে যায় না, কারণ তখন তাদের যে মন মানসিকতা অসুরের মতো ছিল আর কি।
You heard that harrowing tale. Let me now open this up with Veena Sikri, former High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh, Professor Sanjay Bhardwaj. He's a former chairperson of the Center for South Asian Studies at JNU, Professor Ranjit Sen, someone who understands Bangladesh very well, and Major Rezaul Karim, who's a researcher and security analyst based in Bangladesh. Major Reza, let me start with you. These harrowing tales are just a fraction of what people are actually going through in Bangladesh. In fact, I'm going to come to Major Reza in just a bit. That line is still being fixed. But before that, let me just then get in Professor Ranjit Sen. Sir, we played out that interview for our audiences to understand worldwide just what is happening with the community, the Hindu community in Bangladesh right now. Your thoughts?
Well, I think it was as the person, I could understand the language very well. So as the person told the entire incident, it's very clear that it was a premeditated thing which happened, number one. Number two, I'll draw your attention to one very important aspect which has happened in the past 1 month in Bangladesh, aided by a person called Maulana Abdul Ghaffar Haidari. He's a Pakistani. And where once he came to Bangladesh, the action against the Hindus, so to say, done by the Jamaat, I can say this, of course, and aided by the Yunus administration. This guy, his immigration process was also hidden, and this fellow started off in Bangladesh a major anti-Hindu platform called Jamaatul Ansar fil Hindliya Rashtriya. It's a long term, but that's something which has taken place within the last 1 month, categorically spanning out whatever attacks they can do it against the Hindus, not just in the cities, but even in the rural areas, many of which attacks go unreported. And that's something which has seen the trend upwards. And despite the Yunus administration trying to come out in the open before the world saying that, oh, we are taking action, but actually,
in fact, sir, I'm glad you pointed that out. A lot of incidents actually go unreported. As per the MEA, there are about 2,673 attacks that have taken place on Bangladeshi Hindus from 4th of August last year, when the entire student revolution was at its last phase and when the overthrow of the Sheikh Hasina government took place, till 30th of November. It still doesn't capture the December instances like Deepu Chandradas, like Amrit Mandal, and so many others. Veena Sikri, ma'am, you and I have been speaking about the descent of Bangladesh over the course of the last 16 odd months. But the phase that it is in right now, it seems probably the most dangerous, most volatile phase than ever before. How did it reach here so fast?
Yeah. Absolutely. It is certainly the most consistent and serious and violent, and I would say barbaric attack on minorities that has happened in the last 18 months in Bangladesh compared to any time since 1971. The only other similar attack I can remember is in 2001 when Begum Khalida Zia was elected Prime Minister. Then for 3 months, there was this unabated violence against the Hindus and all other minorities.
Houses were burnt, and that completely went on and on, that yes. phase of violence, yes.
Yes, and then after that, this is the next. There have been attacks in between, even under when Sheikh Hasina was there, but they were brought under control very quickly. Here, this is absolutely being encouraged by the administration, and the kind of reports that are coming out in the press. In fact, I know Mr. Ankit Tyagi is there. Now, Amrit Mandal, there are reports coming from the grassroots level that he was not an extortionist or any kind of criminal of any kind. In fact, in that village, the non-Muslims were being forced to pay jizya tax. And because they were being forced to pay jizya, that is why, because he couldn't or he refused to pay or he couldn't pay, so that is why he was lynched to death. As an example, to show to the others that everybody has to pay the tax, otherwise they will meet the same fate. So this is the kind of very dangerous situation that is being created in Bangladesh. And today there was a very interesting meeting in Bangladesh, with the minority community, the Bangladesh Hindu, Buddhist, Christian Occupation Parishad, and very senior representatives from all the human rights organizations in Bangladesh. And they discussed the situation. And they said if it continues like this, it's going to be so dangerous. And they appealed to the interim regime and any government in Bangladesh that deal with the people.
What is Nobel laureate Professor Mohammad Yunus doing? His interim government is still in power 16, 17 months later. He has undertaken constitutional reforms, long-term reforms that elected governments are supposed to take. And the one thing he was supposed to ensure, which was transition to an elected government, hasn't happened. Major Raza Karim, what is the issue? 12th of December is when Usman Hadi was shot and he died, succumbed to his injuries on 18th of December in Singapore. 15 days later, your country is in complete turmoil. What has happened?
Yeah, thank you. For last 1.5 years, I have been attending several sessions with Veena Sikriji. So I really appreciate her loud and clear voice, and also I appreciate that the way she's expressing her concern about Bangladesh. But I would be more happy if Veena Sikriji would have been doing the same in last 17 years of Awami government Sheikh Hasina. However, at present, the current situation in Bangladesh, yes, there are some incidents which are very much alarming. There is no doubt in it. But I'm very positive, especially, that recently our BNP leaders, BNP acting chairman, Mr. Tariq Rahman, he has recently arrived to Bangladesh after 17 years. And as I was traveling with him, so I have found him very positive. He's very simple, and in his speech, for 5 minutes speech, he was not mentioning, he was very positive, and he was mentioning about the unity of the country, he was mentioning about the peace about the country, and also he has expressed his concern about the minorities through his different programs, different speeches. And we have not noticed any retaliatory speech, as we have observed at the time of Sheikh Hasina, the way she used to express her family and her father killings and her relatives, a lot of things she used to personify about her own personal affairs, family affairs. But in case of Mr. Tariq Rahman, we have found he's very positive. He was not mentioning about his father. He was not mentioning about his family.
Sheikh Hasina is not in the country. She's not in power. She's not ruling. It is Mohammad Yunus who's been there.
Sheikh Hasina is coming to the discussion because nowadays the way India is expressing their concern, this concern I really appreciate, but this concern should be all over, not for a certain period of time, not for at the regime of Dr. Mohammad Yunus, at the regime of BNP. It should be all over. It should have been before 17 years too. Okay. It should not be only for this time. Right. It should be in future too.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. I heard the 5 minute, I'm going to come to you, Veena Sikri. I heard the 5-minute speech of Tariq Rahman. I have also seen what all he has done in the last less than 48 hours that he's been there, where all he has gone, who all has he spoken to. Those are public, meetings that have taken place. What has he said so far on Deepu Chandra Das, sir? On that public lynching, what has he said? Has he said a word?
About whom?
About Deepu Chandra Das, about the Hindu minorities. What has he said?
He was not mentioning any single incident because his time was only for 5 minutes. How could you expect that he will mentioning Deepu Chandra Das?
Why? He's insignificant. It doesn't matter.
That was a leader has arrived to Bangladesh after 17 years, and he has not allowed his even party members to speak. He has expended only for 5 minutes because more than 50 lakhs people were gathered there, and whole nation and also around the world, everybody was attending.
Around the world, people are also talking about the ISIS style killing. But Major Reza, Veena Sikri has a point to make, and then I open this up with the other guests as well.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. I would like to, since my name was taken, I have to respond to that, and thank you for allowing me to respond. I agree with you, Gauri, that it was completely shocking that Tariq Rahman, returning after 17 years, 5 minutes or 15 minutes, it doesn't matter, but he did not see the need to say even a word of sympathy or condemnation. First condemnation and then sympathy for the treatment of the minorities, the Hindus, the Buddhists, the Christians, the Sufis, and the Ahmadiyyas. Not a word. He spent a lot of time talking about, maybe Usman Sharif Hadi and others, but not a word. And also that we have seen, we know that under the BNP time, what was the condition of the minority. So I think it is, if Tariq Rahman would like to be involved with the citizens of his own country. In fact, that's the point made in the...
Tariq Rahman, in a word, he mentioned, he mentioned that
please, I have not interrupted you. Please, let me speak. I have not interrupted you. I have not interrupted you. In the point made in the discussion in Dhaka today was that the interim regime and others in Bangladesh should treat the minorities as their own citizens. Don't link it always with India. The people of Bangladesh are saying, we are citizens of your country, of this country. We want our rights. And in fact, there are such good suggestions were made that make an ordinance for the treatment of minorities, make a ministry for the minorities. All these suggestions, the Yunus regime, the BNP, no party has thought fit to comment on these very excellent suggestions that have been made by Chinmoy Das and others after him, and by the people who discussed in the seminar today. But nobody in the system is answering them. Nobody is showing any interest in the minority. They're only interested in grabbing their property and pushing them out of the country. And I think that this is a matter which is really shocking. And I'm really glad that NDTV has sent Mr. Ankit Tyagi there.
In fact, I'm going to play out, we have a report, we played that out earlier, Beja Raza, which showed how the Bangladeshi Hindus said, we are not Indians, we are Bangladeshis. We are Hindus, but we are Bangladeshis. And that is the whole point here. Every second sentence you say India, India, India. No, these are about your country's citizens. Just because they don't follow the majoritarian religion doesn't make them a second citizen of your country.
Showing your concern. But in case of Bangladesh, you are showing your concern. In the India also there is something happened. We have seen in the media
what has happened?
Some Christian. Yeah, in some Christian their religious festivals, there are some attacks. We have seen in the media.
What has happened? A couple of stray instances of vandalism can be compared to the brutal lynching of Deepu Chandra Das. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Deepu Chandra
the two are comparable. And do you see the number of people who've condemned that? Christmas celebrations in some parts were vandalized. Across the board, people have condemned it.
Let me finish.
Tariq Rahman did not speak a word about Deepu Chandra Das, and you are trying to. You are putting a comparison where it doesn't exist. That's my only point. Major Raza, you're going to get all the time. Don't make a false comparison. Tariq Rahman hasn't spoken a word about Deepu Chandra Das or Amrit Mandal.
The word you are mentioning, nobody. It's not that. Tariq Rahman, internally into all his political, especially standing committee members, he has mentioned all this. And also he has mentioned that I have a plan. So he has, in his plan, everything is included. But a single issue was not mentioned in his 5-minute speech. You cannot blame for that.
9% of Bangladesh is minority Hindus. You think those 9% are
he has arrived only for...
They have voting rights. They will also vote, right?
It's only
are
for 3 days.
Of your country?
It's only for 3 days. If you become preoccupied with negative concept, you cannot actually
Let's give it,
get the...
Ayanjit Sen, respond to what Major Raza is saying.
I think one very important aspect here is Major Raza, which he has forgotten, is the fact that the lynching, forget the lynching bit, the way this entire thing was carried out against Deepu Chandra Das, one thing which comes very clearly out in the open is, remember, this entire incident took place in a properly well premeditated manner, number one. Number two, this kind of an incident, if it does not take, if it does not take the name of Muhammad Yunus there, because Muhammad Yunus, what he did, he sent one of his guys to his home just to show the world that I'm trying to do something for the minorities. But it was just it was nothing there, because the guy, I spoke to the father, and he categorically told me very clearly that he just came and he just said that, look, Muhammad Yunus has said very sorry about the incident. That's all. But it was
he can
just
be
a
sorry.
way of
I have one
making
point,
sure
and I have been
that the
making
world
this
sees it
point
in
from
right
day
thing.
one. Professor Anjit, this is a point I've been making since day one, and I'm going to get Professor Bharadwaj and Major Reza on both of it. If Mohammad Yunus feels the way he does for Deepu Chandra Das, then why did he not make the same announcement for Deepu Chandra Das's family that he made for Osman Hadi's family? He said Osman Hadi's wife, his child will be taken care of by the state. He has the status of a martyr and so on and so forth. Doesn't Deepu Chandra Das's family deserve the same?
I take your
Let me make a point. I think that while last 18 months, Bangladesh is not run by by Mohammad Yunus and Jamaat. It was in fact it was run by the Pakistan's ISI. They are running the show, and they are making again Bangladesh a colony. I think they should understand. Bangladeshis should understand. Number one. Number two. About Tariq Rahman, I'm happy that if he has changed his mind and he has changed his heart. But his track record and BNP's track record is very bad.
Yes, his mother's
you can
track
see
record.
That the way they have behaved with the minority communities, persecuted minority communities when they were from 2001 to 2006, and earlier also when they have changed the entire constitution and basically killed the spirit of 1971 when they changed the. So I maybe these are all political rhetorics that he wants to come and he wants to become contest the election, and he's just giving these kinds of soft. But Hindus has been the soft target by the majority communities throughout the history of Bangladesh, you can see. And now they are behaving what the Pakistan behaved from 1947 to 1971. Again, they are behaving in the same manner. Muhammad Yunus is just proxy, or you can say just a face of Jamaat Islam, and Jamaat Islam is a proxy of Pakistan. You
That's
see
the
that
link.
they are
That's
not
the
giving they are not coming out with a single statement about Deepu Das, and they are talking and they are protesting, and people are sitting on Sabha about Osman Hadi. Why he is not a citizen of Bangladesh? They should understand. I think they should treat.
And Major Reza always goes back in time.
All
History
these
lessons to us. Don't give history lessons.
Hindu minorities, this Hindu minorities, they have serious political problem. They have been persecuted. Not only Hindu minorities, the other minorities also. You can see that the way the Chakmas, they has been pushed out of Bangladesh. The other Buddhist Christians, that everybody had been target of these, and they have created majoritarian discourse in Bangladesh politics. I think they are on the path of Pakistan. I'm not very hopeful about Tariq because he's still not opened his mouth about Deepu Das. I think he should come out. He should support the
fact that he still hasn't tells you which way it's going. Exactly, Professor Bharadwaj. Major Reza, I'm going to now play out this ground report that's been filed by Ankit Tyagi, where he has gone to the factory, that exact spot where he was lynched, the tree from which he was hung, and he was, beaten up, lynched. That entire mob took over. That exact spot is where Ankit, my colleague, went to, filed this report. Watch this. I'm going to then ask you, how are you and your party now going to have a Bangladesh first policy? Listen to this. Take a look at this report first. Viewers, this report, then Major Reza.
On the evening of 18th of December, 500 meters, Deepu Das was dragged from his factory gate. The management left out an almost dead Deepu Das outside the gates of his factory, and then he was dragged to this tree right on this very busy road. This road goes towards Dhaka. This is the main highway, and on this tree he was hung and burned. And you see this tree, there are still signs of burnt leaves on the top. This is where Deepu Das met the most brutal end. Only on mere allegations of blasphemy, no police complaint, no police station, no investigation, no FIR, no judge, no court, no trial. A mere allegation, and the crowd the people that he used to work with decided his fate in the most brutal fashion. We are trying to be very, very careful while standing here because, there are people, those who are now coming in only to see what has been happening here. So we'll try and do it very, very quick and move out of this place. But this tree is now the reminder of what Bangladesh looks like for the minorities, the urgent need from its government to ensure safety of the minorities. We are walking very quickly through these congested by-lanes at the square Master Bari, trying to make our way to the factory where Deepu Das used to work, the Pioneer Knitwear Limited. It's difficult for our it's difficult for our car to come here, and that's why we have decided that we are going to leave on foot. And the whole idea is to quickly go in and come out before, because we've been told that it will be difficult for us to shoot at the factory. The management is very, very vigilant. They do not want media attention from, especially from India, to come onto their factory. And that is why we have left our car on the main road, and now we are making our way to these by-lanes to the Pioneer Knitwear factory where Deepu Das worked for almost 3 years. This is the factory, the Pioneer Knitwear Limited, where Deepu Das used to work. In fact, his face and a poster with his name has been put out. It's hanging out of this factory. This is the Pioneer Knitwear where that incident took place, where the allegations were made, and then Deepu Das was dragged out, beaten mercilessly. There were also those pictures of him in a room inside this factory pleading for help, pleading for mercy, but nobody came to his rescue. He was eventually again put in front of the people, of the assailants, those who were coming at him, those who were trying to kill him, and that murderous crowd, he was thrown at their mercy once again. They then dragged him outside the gates of this factory, and he was beaten here, almost dead. Deepu Das was dragged for about 500 meters from here to the main road, where he was hung on a tree and put on fire.
Murderous mob has taken over your country, Major Reza, and your leader doesn't have a word to say.
This is really very much frustrating and very much alarming, not only for Bangladesh. I think this has, after seeing this video, the heart will be bleeding around the world. And this is really not at all accepted. And I will really tell that those who have done this, they cannot be Muslim. In Islam, our Holy Prophet and also Holy Quran, it says about peace and tranquility. So what happened? This is the total failure of Dr. Muhammad Yunus, and I should say, I'm very honest to speak all this. I should say that Hadi and Deepu Chandro, this should not be differentiated. Rather, the killing taken place, it is more heinous than Hadi. But that doesn't mean that Hadi should be underestimated. Hadi was very popular.
Tell this to your leader.
Bangladesh.
Tell this to your leader, and what I just said before this report.
Please,
that Deepu Chandra Das's family deserves the same treatment.
Let me finish. Please, let me finish. So, these things should be equally, this should have get the proper justice. But my point is here, Dr. Muhammad Yunus, the failure of Dr. Muhammad Yunus should not be pushed to Tariq Rahman. I will ask Indian media, please be positive, and your narrative should be different, because give some time to Tariq Rahman, because your Indian media and India should have the purpose to have a very good relation with Bangladesh.
Let me say a word.
Not fueling, not provocative statement. Any provocative statement can...
Your heart... You were moved after watching those reports. You were moved, and look at what you said, that this is worse than Usman Hadi's killing. So tell this to your leader, that he wants to be differentiated from Muhammad Yunus, then he should make the same statement. Tell your leader this, and then India will
why
then
should I tell him?
view
Because
your leader with the kind of conviction he wants to be viewed as.
He's already aware of. He's already aware of. He has many a times he mentioned this in his internal meetings to his political members, and he has urged also about the pitch.
Okay, Veena Sikri has a point. Very quickly, can I get the other aspect of this debate? Veena Sikri, very quickly.
Yeah, well, I would like to say that in the last 18 months, you gave the figures, how many incidents of rape, lynching, killings, grabbing of properties and destruction of homes, making people, forcing them to resign. Has the BNP said a word about it over 18 months? Sitting in London may be fine, but sitting in London and knowing what's happening on the ground in Bangladesh and choosing to ignore it is unacceptable. It shows that either you don't care for Bangladesh or you don't care for the citizens of Bangladesh. For the last 18 months, since the 5th of August, 2024 till today, there has been not a statement from the BNP about what is happening about the country, what it needs to calm down, and you need to have, the only a political game being played. So I think this is a very, very vital aspect that Gauri has raised, and I think that the BNP will be judged on this point. If you're not concerned about the minorities, how to preserve the
I will
life-
request. I will request Veena Sikri ji. Actually, you should not have preoccupied negative perception about BNP. I will request you give some time, observe what BNP is doing, because Mr. Tariq Rahman said he has a plan.
So BNP under Tariq Rahman will be different from BNP under Khalida Zia. That's what Major Reza is saying. But I want to now tell our viewers the other aspect of Bangladesh. I'm going to give you all the time, sir. Aap hi ko time milega.
My statement doesn't say that.
You will get time. Let me tell our viewers what else has happened. Let me tell our viewers what else has happened in Bangladesh. There is a rock concert that was attacked, shut down. Bricks were hurt. Listen, you'll get all the time. Rock concert was shut down. A popular pop icon of Bangladesh had to finally run from that spot where a concert was to take place because bricks were being hurled nowhere. I don't know where they came from. Even the concert organizer did not know. Suddenly, how did violence actually come up at the spot? Someone who is, James, who has sung many times, a popular Bangladesh pop icon who sung for songs in Bollywood as well. But the violence spread further. Dhaka University's canteen was vandalized, media offices have been burnt in the last couple of days, and the fallout has been immediate. Artists are now cancelling concerts in Bangladesh, unwilling to perform in an increasingly hostile environment. You take James, you take Siraj Ali Khan, Arman Khan. Musicians are now stepping back as fear grips the cultural space. Protests are intensifying. Art is under attack. Bangladesh's descent is now in darkness. Most importantly, this is what the Jamaat-e-Islami wants. Ensure that all cultural spaces in Bangladesh are completely squeezed out. That's the point. That's what Jamaat-e-Islami wants. And let me put that back to our panelists. Major Reza, I'm going to give you that chance to respond.
Okay.
We were talking about Hindu minorities. There was a problem there. What is the problem with culture? Jamaat-e-Islami doesn't like cultural spaces, so they will also be shut.
Are you asking me?
Can I speak?
Okay, Saurabh Bhardwaj. Yes, Professor Bhardwaj, please, sir.
Yeah. So, see, what we have seen in last 18 months, they have changed the heroes, they have changed the symbols, they have all entirely, they have just ruined entire memory of 1971. That Bangladesh now, who is having the safe haven? It is Hizbul Tahrir. It is Ansarul Bangladesh. It is ISI's major generals and all that. They are giving slogans that Amar Babar, Tumar Babar, Sabar Hor Babar Babar. They are just trying to destabilize India's northeast. They are not thinking about their own people. I think they should think about their own people. And if the BNP is so honest, and Tariq is so honest, he should advocate, let the Awami League participate in the election. Let the elections should become participatory, inclusive elections, so that let the people of Bangladesh decides the fate. It is not like one-sided elections that Awami League, who has penned Bangladesh presence. Okay, there is no Sheikh Hasina, but the political party is there. And if you want to ruin forcefully and by violence the memories of 1971, you want to disown the father of the nation, Bangabandhu, and you want to glorify that who had been collaborator in 1971, who had been persecuting minorities and the liberal progressive Muslims.
Yes.
So now I think that this is new Bangladesh under Yunus, and Tariq Rahman's silence is endorsing what Mohammed Yunus had been doing for last 18 months. I think that he should come out very vocally, condemn Mohammed Yunus and what he has done in last 18 months. Then we can see that there is really a change of mind of Tariq Rahman. But it doing and giving statement now Bangladesh for all, it is like Jinnah has said, now Pakistan is for all. But they are coming out with the Islamic principles and ethos and values.
Exactly.
The same manner that Tariq is also giving a statement now Bangladesh is safe for all. But I don't think that in last 18 months, whatever, a single statement had been given by Tariq Rahman about the protection of minority communities.
Exactly.
Tariq Rahman,
respond to that.
If statement Tariq Rahman gives or doesn't give doesn't matter, because you are
looking. He's a prospective prime minister. You want to make him voice of Bangladesh, and you doesn't want to bother about this.
Mr. Professor, let me finish. Everywhere you are bringing Pakistan, bringing ISI. That's how this is kind of provocative statement. Why can't you be positive about Bangladesh?
You see from 2001 to 2006, there were close nexus between the ISI,
Indian media and Indian
history of
the people
Bangladesh
like you,
from 2001 to
scholars
2006.
like you, your statement should not be aligned with Awami League. Why your
No, I'm not aligning. I'm thinking that let Tariq Rahman and BNP make.
I am not feeling that here Indian any media person is talking. I am feeling that it's Awami League who is talking about something in Bangladesh. So we expect that India should be neutral about the internal affairs of Bangladesh, and we respect India for our independence.
No. I'm not talking about.
But don't please
the Awami League.
Don't spoil our good
The Awami League is a political party of Bangladesh. Awami League is a political party of Bangladesh, and that had led the liberation war of Bangladesh. How you can deny? How you can decline about Awami League? Awami League is the largest political party of Bangladesh. And let the people.
Every statement. In your every statement,
let the people have a fair chance to decide whether BNP.
Okay, let's give Reza a chance to respond. Major Reza, respond to that. Two questions. One, first and foremost, you fought the war of independence to liberate yourself from Pakistan. From East Pakistan, you became Bangladesh. Why are you now turning into a Pakistan? That's first question. The second question that Professor Bharadwaj is asking is, if you want a free and fair election, then, and if you want that, the mistakes of the past should not be made in the future, then ensure Awami League also participates in the election. That's the two questions that Professor Bharadwaj is asking.
Yeah, so you are putting questions, but you are allowing me to answer.
You have all the time.
I will request to Mr. Professor to allow me some time.
You have all the time.
Yes, we do recognize India. We do respect India for their contribution at the time of our liberation, war of liberation. Yes, we do appreciate that, and we do show our gratitude for that. And that
but you also condemn Jamaat-e-Islam and collaborators. You also condemn Jamaat-e-Islam and collaborators.
Let him finish. Professor Bharadwaj, let him make a point.
Talk, please. You keep talking.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So we do appreciate that, but at the same time, we want the neutral view from India. We want that India should not be biased. India should not sound like Awami League. India should care about all the political parties.
No, India is not sounding like Awami League.
Bangladesh.
We are saying concepts are being cancelled. Jamaat-e-Islami people are now running Bangladesh. So many prisoners have been released. Hardened criminals have been released by Mohammed Yunus.
When there were thousands extrajudicial killings, where was India at the time? Where was your media? When there were Goming killings, when there were
extrajudicial killing is the history of Bangladesh. You see 1970s, you see 1980s, you see 2001 to that extrajudicial killing is a tradition in Bangladesh. Disappearance is a tradition in Bangladesh. Vote rigging and election rigging is a tradition in Bangladesh. I don't think that these are all traditions from last 50 years. Please, I have been reading Bangladesh very well.
How much is paying
you
to
do
Indian
not
media? I
you
don't
do
know.
not
But
ignore
it
the
is
history
crossing the
of
limit.
Bangladesh that it has been. Now I'm asking, let the Bangladesh
You are
people
portraying
decide
your
who-
own narrative. You are portraying your own narrative.
Nobody's
You are
putting any
not
narrative.
allowing
What is
us
your
to
narrative?
have.
You tell me what is your narrative. Concerts being
I
cancelled,
don't have a
people
narrative. I
being
am telling the
killed,
facts.
Jamaat-e
I
Islami
am
being
telling the
freed,
facts.
hundreds of hardened criminals being freed up to participate in elections. This is your narrative. You have all the time.
No,
Change
this
your
is
narrative. Tell me what's your
This is
narrative.
not my narrative. This is
Are
not my
concerts
narrative.
not being cancelled? Isn't this what Jamaat-e Islami wants?
No. Yeah, we are not supporting that. We are not supporting that. Bangladesh is not supporting that. Jamaat Islami might be backing Yunus government. People are not liking that. And Yunus government's failure, you can remember in your talk show in NDTV at the beginning of this 2024, especially in the month of August, September, I was in favor of Yunus government. I have given my own statement. Now I am criticizing because I am with the rights. I am
The
not.
Nobel laureate
So
Mohammad Yunus is now not supported by BNP. Okay, Ayanjit Sen, you've been listening to this for so long. Your thoughts, sir? The fact that the turmoil has ensured that cultural spaces have now been completely wiped out
You are not,
in Bangladesh. Ayanjit Sen, no, he hasn't spoken. Ayanjit Sen, Major Raza, you've been talking. Ayanjit Sen.
Major Rizal, just a second. Major Rizal, we have debated in the past as well. And one thing which I want to kind of tell you, the way you change sides, initially yourself said that no, you're favoring Yunus and now you're favoring BNP. Just one single point that all that
this
has
not
happened in
a
the last
subject of
so many
People
months.
listen only,
Major
no? Let
Rizal,
him speak.
Let me speak. In the last 16 months, whatever has happened to do with lynching of Hindus, killing of Hindus, starting with all the violence that have taken place in Bangladesh, only one person is responsible, and that's Muhammad Yunus, number one.
Nobel laureate
Number two,
Professor Muhammad Yunus.
Nobel laureate, because he's the
Responsible for the
person
killings of
who
these many
he was.
people.
It is.
Yes,
it
and
is
he was the
Muhammad
person
Yunus
who was
just
being
saying-
who was put in that position primarily by the Pakistanis and some other foreign forces just because he had an international tact to him. That's all. But what he did was he followed Jamaat completely all through. He was working in tandem with them. At a time when Yunus was in the first 6 months, there was no Bangladeshi ruling Bangladesh. There was Pakistan ruling Bangladesh. And that's exactly what Yunus did. And in that particular, the way he administered the entire country was nothing but looting all across. This is now everywhere out in the open. Number one, because I can say one thing for sure that your party.
My question is to Mr.
In
Raja
Bangladesh,
that let him condemn. Let him
in case of
condemn.
NCP, I'm giving you the facts. I'm giving you the facts, Major Rizal. In case of NCP, every day for the last 16 months, at least a few lakh rupees have been offshoring from Bangladesh to other countries by the leaders of the NCP.
Allegation.
Has Yunus
That's an
government?
allegation. Sir, we wait for the proof.
Has Yunus government? Has the Yunus?
There
administration
were
taken any action?
more than that at the time of Sheikh Hasina. There were more than that, thousands times more than that at the time of Sheikh Hasina.
No. You cannot.
Well, see, I'm not comparing. I'm not comparing the term of Sheikh Hasina here. I'm not comparing the term of Sheikh Hasina.
That
But you
Okay,
don't change sides, Major Rizal. You don't change sides.
Wait, all right. Wait. Major Raza, I'm going to give you final 30 seconds
Yes.
on the two issues that we discussed today. Your country is facing unprecedented turmoil, whether it is about concerts being cancelled, whether it is about Jamaat-e Islami's writ running large in the country, or whether your leader staying quiet and silent on the murderous mob lynching Hindu minorities. Give one
thank you.
message to India.
Yeah.
What will that message be?
Yes, I do agree that unprecedented incidents happening in Bangladesh, this kind of turmoil never happened. I do agree that, but I will correct one thing, that you can put your assumption, whatever you are talking about Jamaat, about Pakistan, blah blah. This can
There
be
is
your
no blah
assumption.
blah.
But this
No,
is not-
army
this
exchanges
is
have
not a
happened. There's no blah
conflict.
blah. No. Nothing happens on this network that is blah blah. No. Army
No, no.
exchanges have
There is
happened. Senior
there is
Pakistani
nothing proven.
army personnel
This
have
might
been in
happen. I can
Bangladesh.
say- I can
Visa
say
norms
it's
have been
happening because of
changed.
law. This
Custom
happening
norms
because
have
of
been
India.
relaxed. There's no blah blah. Sorry,
No,
I'm going to end this
they
right
were-
here.
I can
Your
say
blah
that
blah
India
can
is
continue
buying
some
this.
another network.
No,
All right,
well,
Major
no,
Azad,
we
thank you
can
so
say
much
that
for
India is
speaking to
buying
me.
all this.
I'm going to speak to you some
India is
other day
buying all
when you
this.
don't do any blah blah on this network. All right, I'm going to leave this here. And, Professor Anjit Sen, Professor Bhardwaj, there's another aspect to this that needs to be highlighted. Now, as the unrest in Bangladesh continues, one also needs to now talk about the controversy that has erupted over statements made by Netas, whether it is PDP chief Mehbooba Mufti, who stirred a huge controversy after claiming that those who were raising their voices on the Bangladesh issue ignored some parallels that were happening here. How long are we going to continue this competitive political narrative just to score, cheap political brownie points? And unless we get over this tendency, how are we now going to move forward? I'm going to play out that soundbite and then get in Professor Anjit Sen.
I have
First that
only
soundbite. First that soundbite.
सबक सिखाना चाहिए ये लोग जैसे इजराइल सिखाया गाजा में उस तरीके से हमारी भारत की 100 करोड़ हिंदू देश का हिंदू हित में चल रहा है सरकार सबक सिखाना चाहिए जैसे ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में पाकिस्तान को हम लोग सबक सिखाया
ऐसे वनानी कि वनकस पूरे मुल्कस मज इंटॉलरेंस बढ़ेम लिंचिंग गसान बाकी बांग्लादेश मज गसान बड़ तकलीफ गसान मगर तम सात नफर तथ क्रिटिसाइज करान तिम वुचान तिम ब्रो कन लिंचिंग गसान जबान
Yes, sir. I'm going to give both of you a chance. Professor Bhardwaj, you wanted to speak first.
Yes,
Go ahead. You heard what Mehbooba Mufti said.
See, I have been closely following Pakistan, Bangladesh, and even in Afghanistan. I have seen that the persecutions of the minority has been a constant phenomenon. And the people, they are forced to migrate from these countries to India. And, we have come out for CA and all that. Have you heard that any of the Muslim has migrated in any of these countries in the last 70 years and 75 years? No one. Everybody is happy and they are very much the citizen of this country and they are enjoying all the equal rights in India. So I think she should not compare at all about that. It is all India being a soft power, being a very cultural state that we have been behaving with as a responsible regional powers with these countries, and we had been very supportive to Bangladeshis. But particularly, we have seen that the way the persecution had been happened.
Exactly.
In 1947 there were 30% Hindus. It has
Now
come 15%
9%.
in 1971. Now it is less than 8%. It is
Look at the way it's
7.5%,
going.
the new generation. So you can see that where are these people? They have been persecuted. They have the political problems. They have all the problems. Can you name anyone who are prominent leaders in the ministries, who were prominent academicians holding any vice chancellor position, any prominent
The complete
person in the
disappearance
army,
of minorities
everywhere.
and the
But you
Hindus
can-
of Bangladesh. A quick point from Professor Anjit
thousands
Sen.
of cases here in India that
Exactly.
Muslims
Professor
are
Anjit
having.
Sen, very quickly, sir. I'm running out of time. Yeah.
Just one thing which I'd like to say here that inside Bangladesh, Hindus have got no rights at all right now, starting from education to IT businesses to everything, from all aspects. They have been robbed of all their jobs. Apart from all the violence that has taken place against them, they have been not just marginalized, but marginalized completely and out of the scene now, as far as Bangladesh is concerned. And that's, I think, it's an alarming sign so close to India.
Absolutely. That's the most
There
alarming.
are
heartening
writings,
fact.
Barkatul Haq, they are Taslima Nasreen, they are writing, they are talking about Vested Property Act, that earlier was Enemy Property Act, the way they are forcing Hindu communities to grab their properties. Their children are not safe, their girls are not safe.
Absolutely.
They are either converted or they are
But
forced
none
to
of
be
this
married, and there are
matters
thousands
to
of cases in
Mehbooba
Bangladesh.
Mufti, who comes out with that unbelievable, shocking parallel that this is happening here. And just because it happens in Bangladesh, we are
unfortunate
okay.
for the-
Then
very
we are not
unfortunate
talking
for the
about when
Indian.
it happens here. Shocking parallel that has been drawn by Mehbooba Mufti there.
unfortunate.
that just tells you the state of Indian politics when it comes to people like Mehbooba Mufti and political parties like PDP chief. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me on this special broadcast where we spoke about Bangladesh, the descent of the country. And that's all the time we could pack in this edition of Saturday Prime. Thanks so much for watching.